Hey everyone, Rather Incoherent here, back with more Rome Total War, Germania. Today we continue with not our Siege of Rome. It might look like a Siege of Rome, but this was just a trick we did to wipe out some reinforcements. But with preparing for the Siege of Rome, we're getting there. And when we were wiping out the reinforcements, this man, Ariogaeus the Conqueror... Oh wait, no, Ariogaeus the Conqueror was the faction leader in the previous battle. Got Galloper, which is +1 command when attacking. He was already at 10 stars, so it didn't really matter. And Heriolphus the Conqueror, which is also not this man, but the one all the way over here. No. This man. Also got another command star. So lots of people getting command stars, neither of them the man I thought it was. This is just a very experienced warlord, Duva of Bana. Now, as always, Rome has a full stack, but they are at least down to only 2 family members. And there's a whole lot of Velites in here, which I can only imagine won't fare super well against my heavy cavalry if I can get them in the walls. And luckily for me, since I recorded the Julii already, I've had practice sieging Rome, and I know what not to do. In particular, I know that I just want to build a whole lot of saps. I do not want to use siege towers at all, because they really don't work. But let's talk about the Siege of Rome once we actually get there. I'm getting ahead of myself. There's a spear warband here in Lavashik, and I don't know what it was meant for. I think I built it because I was afraid of their general, the Juliis, I mean. So I'm going to have him start coming down and actually join the army next turn. Alright, another thing I just did is I went through and I adjusted my tax rate as high as I could in every single settlement. Right now I feel what I need more than anything is just money. And going through my settlements, I don't think there's much else for me to do, but I have 3,000 gold left over, and previously I was talking about building infrastructure, specifically improving my infrastructure to start producing archers. And down here in Croton is actually one of the cities where I can make that decision, so I'm going to start doing it now. Only, I'm not going to. I'm going to build ports in every city I can that could have a port but doesn't. Because ports are the strongest economic building I can make, and honestly, I won't regret building them if I just do it now. With the last of my gold, I'm actually just going to start this practice range now to make sure I can't forget to do it. But it does make me realize something as I go around my towns and look at how my income is generated. Okay, I do have trade partners, I'm just not making money from them. I was worried I didn't have any trade rights. So I believe that that's it for this turn. All of last video is pretty much a single turn, so it makes sense that we're done. Let's see what happens in the interim. I know that this siege isn't sticking around. Both of these are almost certainly withdrawing to Capua. Yep, withdraw immediately, not a chance in hell. They didn't actually hit the second army. I wonder if that's a glitch. And I assume that the unit that just spawned is actually just whatever they recruited, and they couldn't put it in the city. Hey, Gaul, do you want to try to bribe somebody again?
Let us end the bloodshed.
Gaul, aren't I sieging your cities right now? Absolutely not.
Until next time.
Now, this is actually something I don't know. I have no idea since Gaul broke that siege on Mediolanum, whether or not they get the build credit for that archery range. I don't know if that happens at the end of my turn or at the end of the entire phase. I just know that it happens at some point. They don't get credit for it. It happens on my turn and not at the end of the turn. Now, next, big deal. Let's go figure out where that faction leader got to. If I don't see him... Okay, he hasn't moved at all. I guess he's not able to move because he was just defeated. That's interesting. Let me check my announcements. Settlement besieged. It's just Yuvavum. I'm going to give it one more turn and see if they'll actually try to come in before I sally forth. I can now start my siege against Aquincum, or however that's pronounced, again. Hopefully it sticks this time, and next turn I might consider recruiting all of these Illyrian mercenaries, but for now I don't see the reason to pay for them, and the Spear Warband can join my army. Actually, going here to Segestica, they're seeming pretty upset these days. I can just lower their taxes to solve it, though. Recruit a new Spear Warband for them. Have this one start marching out. And actually, I think I might finally be done with Spear Warbands. Macedon owns this settlement already, so it's unlikely for me to use this to conquer any rebels. In fact, it's impossible. So yeah, instead of making a Spear Warband this time, I'm finally going to recruit just a peasant for garrison. And this unit doesn't need to be in the army on the left. It's going to go over here and help get rid of this siege, which it will want to do next turn. Now, honestly, I think the best thing for this diplomat is to start moving towards the coast over here to eventually get on a boat and sail to Egypt and Persia. But for now, I'm going to start moving him down the coastline. So I think I'm going to push in here and take Gaul's last settlement in Spain with this army. No mercenaries that I want to recruit, which makes my life easy. I don't have to think about it. I'll drop a watchtower here just so I can see what's going on in the future. Oh, this is Spain. Well, Rick Burgess the Conqueror didn't get his name by not dallying everyone near him, so Spain or Gaul, it doesn't matter, I'm conquering Osca. Now, previously I was really concerned about killing this man. And I still am. He should be comically weak. It should just take like one general to do this. I'm gonna send one general and 2 units of cavalry, and that should be enough. He regenerated 44 fucking units in 1 turn? Are you kidding? Alright, let's go ahead and send some more men. You want to send 2 family members and 2 more light cav, and they'll probably retreat now. But it's fine. They don't have anywhere to go, because they're going to find Massilia besieged. They're going to find Massilia next to my army. I'm not happy right now. So I guess he'll be at a full 100 next turn, right? Now these units are just going to leave. Wait, what? There sure are a lot of family members just standing outside of Rome. I can't actually let Rome do this. Their family members are outside undefended. I'm going to siege them and just kill their family members. Yeah, this siege doesn't matter. It's just now they can't be used as reinforcements. And because there are 2 family members, I want to send reinforcements. And I think it's got to be none other than my faction leader himself that comes. Do I also want another unit of spearmen is a good question. Well, first let's just handle recruitment here. It's pretty straightforward. I want more noble cavalry. And in this city, I'm able to have everyone leave. This guy heads north. The noble cav leaves for sure. Too mad for anything else to leave. This man comes as far forward as he can. And I'll think about who goes where in a second. So the problem is if these retreat, then I don't get to kill them. So I have to be careful how many units I send. And I think this is too much, but I also feel like I can't send less than this. Yeah. So it's kind of what I expected to happen, but yeah. Sort of a waste of time in that respect. Can I send a second army? I can. I can take out this stuff. This is so weird what I'm doing, but it's obviously also correct. So I'm going to take all this noble cav I've been training and this other family member. And I'm going to go kill this man. He's got reinforcements of 1 unit of Principes, and that shouldn't be hard for me to deal with. The Principes should be coming directly from the right side of the battlefield. Since his reinforcements are coming from the right, rather than actually setting up to deal with him, I'm just setting up here to catch his reinforcements.
The enemy are scared.
So this man just gets encircled and murdered pretty immediately. Like, it's very sad. It's just what it is, though. So, this is the part where he routs and dies.
Enemy warlord shows his worth.
Much easier than dealing with Principes inside of a city.
Warriors would die rather than run.
So we lost 9 men there, which is fine by me. Now it's the hard part. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have general and noble cav on both sides, light cavalry just to try to catch the general. Now the noble cav charge in ahead of my generals to minimize the chance that the generals actually die in the charge or in the melee to fall out. And now that I'm actually in this situation, I realize I don't need to have my noble cav charge in ahead of the generals. I just need to have them charge in first, and I'm being very silly. Okay. So step 1 of this is very straightforward. I select all of my non-general units and tell them to charge. And actually this one's further away, so I want him to start it. And now it should be roughly equal. And now I want my generals to charge. And now I put it on triple speed, because there's not a whole lot more input I'm giving. Yeah, that's about right.
This is a great victory.
Man, it really sucks to be Roman in this campaign, doesn't it? We lost 8 men. We actually gained our casualties back. The general only killed 1 man in that brutal 5-way charge. Oh, hey, he's got movement now. I can't do anything with it, but it's neat that he does. Just gonna move him as far back as I can. Actually, no, there's no mercs. I was wondering if I could get maybe mercs somehow and send them around to this other general, but I can't. Can you just walk in the city now? You can. Fantastic. Can any of this get retrained? A little bit. Oh, and we got some trade increases. This man, I believe. Yeah, Eadric of Aduatica? I've got no idea. Gained 1 command star and got a famous warrior. Hell yeah. Famous warriors are apparently very easy to get, and they are a fantastic thing to have. Now this unit just needs to get out of my land. Alright, I'll be back with you when they start withdrawing immediately from the battle, because they're not actually fighting this. Let's not pretend. Like, are they actually pretending they're going to fight this? I'm deeply confused. Hopefully this one devastated unit of mercenary cavalry can run everyone down, though, because they are going to retreat once they realize what's happening. What are they doing? Are they actually trying to fight me? I don't understand the AI in Rome Total War Remastered sometimes. Like, I legitimately don't know what it even thinks is happening. Yeah. Their first unit has routed because... like, of course it did. There was never any alternative. Yeah. So now I'm going to run down 2 units of warband with basically nothing. That was the most pointless loss of 2 warbands I've ever seen.
The enemy army
Like, what the hell, Gaul? Why did you do that? Like, I legitimately didn't believe that Gaul was going to fight that. It's so obviously wrong. It looks like I got Man of the Hour for it, too. Yeah, I get a 3-star commander for this. Nice. So, this guy starts with what traits exactly? Not a whole lot. Let's actually do something here. I haven't been doing this nearly enough. What was his name? Adelwulf of Colonia. Let's go over to our Followers tab. Select Adelwulf. And find somebody who has, you know, a lot more command stars than they need, or shouldn't have command stars at all. I wish I could see who this man was on this screen. I guess I can, right? The commander in this stack is Sesathoticus over here, however you pronounce it. So I can afford to give this man's famous warrior away. I'm going to give it over here to this guy. Going to confirm that right now. But I realize something now. My faction leader, is currently out trying to kill the Romans, I think. Yeah. He's got 9 command stars just all the time, and I'm pretty sure he has various command stars that are always active but are technically conditional. Yeah, +1 command when commanding infantry, or cavalry rather. +1 command when attacking. So he's at 11 command all the time, and it actually caps out at 10. So I can give this galloper over as well to this man. So I'll send over a galloper as well, and this should make him a pretty viable general. Now, I'm not quite sure what I need him commanding, to be honest, but it does feel like he's about to go to a war, and now that I look at the situation, he's going to get on this boat and go to Corsica and Sardinia. And he'll also probably hire any mercenaries he can. He won't need them, so I'm not going to bother. So, we're going to have this guy get started dialing the Romans sooner rather than later. They have no idea just how much Julii I have over here. It shouldn't possibly be much since the town won't make very much money. And judging by its 368 population, I suspect that they don't have much at all because they can't recruit anything. Interestingly, if you hold Alt over a city in the fog of war, you can see how many units are in it. Yeah, those aren't buildings. I don't feel like that's information I should have. Yeah, I can just, like, click on Dacia's shit and be like, oh, hey, they have 4 units here. They have 3 units here. I shouldn't be allowed to do that. What the hell? That is not information I should have access to. And once again, I didn't realize it because I got distracted by all the other stuff I was doing. But Britannia just hasn't attacked me. They clearly want to, they clearly intend to. But they haven't done it. And so I'm going to take the opportunity to recruit a massive army across my lands and start gathering it over here. Because evidently I fucking need one. And I'll actually take some skirmisher warbands. Just because I can. This unit of destroyed cavalry should obviously be going to a city that can retrain them. Meanwhile, all of these units probably aren't necessary. Yeah, they can get by with only 1 to garrison, and so they can join up for the siege of Osca. Now, again, since I have the money lying around, I feel like I should invest that money into my largest cities. Get better infrastructure going there to make more money with trade. And I think that the shipwright is probably the most effective thing I can do. It gives me 100 more a city. In terms of the money to build it, though, and the time to pay for itself, markets actually are better in both regards. So I will just build generic traders in both Capua and Tarentum. Which doesn't feel great, I'm going to be honest, but I'm going to do it. with the rest of my money, I've decided I'm going to build communal farms in both of these cities. Oh, what? Capua can't? They have them already. Good. Instead, then, I will build it in Eremia. What I realized during the Julii campaign is something I didn't do is I prioritized building units everywhere equally, and instead, I should have been prioritizing building in large cities or cities that were going to grow. Because those are the cities that are going to make the most money, they have the most population, and therefore the infrastructure is worth the most. Instead, I tried very hard to make sure everyone was building and everyone was growing, but I just know that I don't have enough money to actually do that if I'm pushing my military as hard as I'm going to be. So odds are, the vast majority of my infrastructure development this game is going to be down here in Italy. But for now, I think I've finished the turn. Nope, I have not. I have one thing left to do, and it's to brutally murder these men and take Lugdunum back for one last time. It's not going to be close. So, as is so often the case with these tiny little armies, I don't have any ranged units. Instead, I'm just knocking holes in the walls in various places, and doing my very best to position in such a way where I can sneak inside one phalanx and start tearing them apart with better positioning inside their own city. Defenders are just going to be stretched too thin to really stop me in all locations at once. Actually, just have these guys grab the ram, and go batter down the main gate. Meanwhile, I'm going to position my spearmen around both gates.
Have reached the enemy gate with the ram.
And seeing as the enemy are nowhere near in position to stop me, I'm just going to run inside the city and set up a phalanx over here. Which is possible to fail. It has failed many times before, but I think it should, most of the time, work out just fine. Man, what is this pathfinding route? What are they even talking about? Right, now that that's gone away, I'm going to hit form phalanx, and oh my god, they started to do it immediately. They didn't spin, they just like fixed their formation and got into it. Nice. They're spinning now. It's nice to see the AI afflicted by the same bugs as I am. Just going to walk down here and set up a phalanx facing them since they don't seem interested in moving to me. Okay, time to start moving cavalry then. Oh hey, we finally got movement. I'm sure it's going to go great for them. Poor Gaul. They just don't know how to get in formation with their spears. They just run at you with them like crazy people.
The enemy warlord flees from our warriors. Attack and drive them back in the
Did he
same way.
flee or is he dead? Yeah, he's dead.
Is dead.
Here I'm just going to select the two phalanxes that are still at full health. And draw them up between the trees. Rather than letting my tired phalanxes continue to fight. Yep, here they come. Ready to die. They're probably going to do that several times, aren't they? Alright, I'll get back to you when they're done with their slow suicide. So at this point, this unit is just, you know, sort of freaking out a bit. I'm not quite sure what the AI thinks he's going to do. But it seems like the consensus is that he's not going to do whatever the plan is. So now I'm just going to start moving my phalanxes up in this line here. Because at this point I'm not really flankable, so I just need to walk forward and kill them all. So, yeah, sorry Gaul. If only someone had taught Gaul how to stand in formation. Like, I don't know where Germany learned this from, but it's a very useful trick. Right, at this point it's time to move my phalanxes around to the other side of the city. Come in from both sides. And now we have them attacked on the other side, and we'll continue moving up on this side. I mean, usually the arrow keys result in your units doing roughly what you want to, but I guess not always. It's very interesting what this phalanx is doing. It's sort of like moving forward. Sort of like it. Definitely not quite the same, though. I can't wait to see how this phalanx tries to do what I just told it to do. Because I know it can't. I'm just curious. Close. Very close. Definitely gave it their best effort. These guys have a very interesting idea. Oh, hey, we actually fucking got there. I mean, I don't think I can move forward. Oh my god, I can. That's just the craziest thing I've ever seen. They actually moved forward while going over the town square border. I'm unclear why the fight's not over, but please fix that.
The army runs. Victory is the reward of warriors. Great victories like this go only to the best.
Only lost 40 men taking a city. Since there's no general, I might get another man of the hour here, but I don't feel like I deserve one. I'll be perfectly fine when I don't get one. I feel bad about every option I can take here. I'm going to occupy. Hopefully the city can retrain whatever losses I've incurred. Such as they are, all fucking, like, 8 of them. Now, a question I realized I have is, can I recruit a mercenary here? The answer is, if I had money, I could. I believe Mediolanum hasn't actually started this practice range yet. I think if I hire this mercenary, I just want to check. I know he can't build a ram, so it's not worth doing. But if I hire this mercenary, he can't move. Okay. What I was checking there is I wanted to know, hypothetically, if my units were out of movement and were in the red zone, they couldn't move because of zone of control, could I hire mercenaries and have them step out of the zone of control and start the siege? And the answer is no, you can't. Which is sad, but none of that mattered. I would never have actually done it anyway because there's only one man here and that's not enough to build a ram in one turn, so it doesn't even do anything. But now I know for future reference. Always gotta do science. Now I could retrain this unit, but honestly I'm just gonna recruit peasants and be on my way. I guess I'm going to come down here to this bridge to make sure the general cannot flee. The only place he can go is into the town of Massilia, which is just death waiting. Alright, I've got a solid 5 denarii to my name. I've done everything I can with all the armies I have. And maybe Britain actually declares war on me this turn, who knows. They don't seem to have very many chariots around this time, just one general and no chariot units. Which I suspect means they don't start with the infrastructure to produce chariots, and they've brought everything they've built so far in the game down to fight me. But the reason this is important is because it means that my Phalanxes might actually just be able to kill their whole fucking army if they don't have much more. But yeah, that's it for this turn. It feels so brief compared to the last one. Let's go, let's see what happens. Here we're just going to withdraw immediately, and I suspect they'll do the same thing as last time, and after winning one battle, they make no effort to win any more. He knows he has reinforcements, I'm assuming. Okay, so here's the thing. I can kill this unit of Velites and then retreat. So I'm going to do that. The problem is I don't really know which direction I retreat in. I think if I just leave my infantry in the middle of the map, they'll be able to retreat no problem. So the deployment here is very simple. My spearmen line up in the middle of the map, get out of phalanx formation. My cavalry are going to go kill them. These guys need to immediately rout. My cavalry needs to immediately charge.
We will count the dead later.
So when I watch these guys start routing, they're going this way away from enemy armies. Perfect, that's all well and good. I don't want them both to be charging, I just want one to charge initially. Otherwise, they're going to tangle up on each other and get in the way. I'll just take the second charge at a slight delay to hit them from the rear and make sure the first charge is fully, like, executed. Well, there's not really hitting them in the rear based on how skirmishy that got. Yeah, just instantly broke like you do.
The enemy warlord shows his worth. Nothing.
I don't really know that's his fault, man. You should calm down.
Die rather than run.
Anyway, there seems to be a massive Senate death stat coming over the farms, so I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. I'm not gonna stick around for more of this.
Now they may turn and run. Attack! Attack!
But honestly, their army is not that good. In a huge field battle, I think I can bait them into fighting my cavalry army and just rip them to pieces. Oh, he's not going the direction I thought he'd be going at all. That's fine by me, I just wasn't expecting it. Still not actually dialing me. Oh, there they go. Okay, back in it. They finally started the war with me. Real life got in the way for a second there, but it's not a big deal. Now let's see what happened over the turns. Samara Briva is besieged, and so is Uvavam. Both of those seem like not the biggest problems, to be honest. I'm at war with Britain again. Spain allied with the Senate. They might know what's coming. And Adelwulf of Kelowna just got that famous warrior I was transferring. Now, unfortunately, this is where we leave off this time. However, let's quickly check. We're up to 24 settlements, halfway to the victory conditions. Anyway, this has been rather incoherent. I've been dealing with border wars this whole campaign, but for once, I think I might finally be getting it under control. Rome is all that's left in Italy, and soon I think they will fall. So for now, this is it. I'm going to end the video here. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, then please like, comment, and subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. It really helps the channel grow. And I'll see you next time, which hopefully will be the day that we take Rome.